sitting and waiting, winning his second MVP of his career this week.
What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to News to Astonish, where we discuss comics, movies, games, and more, and to another amazing Marvel Spider-Man 2 video. Before we get started, grab those like and subscribe buttons. I would greatly appreciate it if you would. It really helps the channel out. Also, follow me on social media. The links to my Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, and Twitch are in the description box below. Without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. So, the whole situation with the news about Marvel Spider-Man 2 has been pretty mum, to say the least, and understandably so. People have been frustrated with the lack of news, including myself to a certain extent, and others have taken it to the extreme, which I won't go into details, and some people have given up on the game. This is supposed to be a game that's coming out this fall, and for those of you who live here in the United States would know that the fall takes place between September to November. We're supposedly 7 to 8 months away, from my guess, from this game's release, and we have nothing, just only subtle teases, even cryptic messages from the actors from the game. You guys have been seeing the small hints from PlayStation, like that live from PS5 clip, which showed a bunch of PlayStation characters roaming around the real world, including Spider-Man himself. This is all part of a PlayStation marketing campaign indicating something big is about to happen. Microsoft held their Xbox and Bethesda Developer Direct in late January, and Nintendo dropped a big direct earlier this week, packed with surprises. Everyone's already looking at the only one of the big three who hasn't said anything about a showcase or state of play, like,
well, we're waiting.
Guys, I'm going to keep it real with you, like I've been doing so ever since the first official teaser trailer of Marvel Spider-Man 2 dropped. While I do understand it can be very frustrating that PlayStation and Insomniac Games doesn't say anything about arguably their biggest IP in the freaking world, trust me, even I'm a bit frustrated. You got to understand that whatever it is they're cooking up is going to be good, and once we receive the good and sweet cooked up epic trailer, it'll feel like the wait was worth it after all. So there's no need to despair, there's no need to give up on the game, because I guarantee every single one of you guys are going to sing a different and positive tune once you see a new trailer drop. I won't name any names, but I know who you are. I read your comments, and let me tell you, some of the things you guys are saying about Insomniac Games and PlayStation, while understandable, again, it comes across as ungrateful and harsh at times, not gonna lie. Anyways, the news I'm about to present to you will probably put you all at ease, as I do have a reliable source in the industry who claims there's going to be a state of play maybe by the end of this month in February, and a PlayStation showcase in June, understandably so, since that's summer, you know, the season that's right before the fall. That reliable source is Jeff Grubb from the Game Mess Decides podcast. For sure, we're bound to see something about Marvel Spider-Man 2 by then, so I'm going to go ahead and read this article from Insider Gaming, and then we will discuss. Sony will hold a PlayStation State of Play broadcast in a month or so, according to an industry insider. The time frame comes courtesy of Jeff Grubb on the latest episode of the Games Mess Decides podcast. Speaking with Games Beat's Mike Minotti, Grubb confirmed that Sony will soon be ready to show off more of its upcoming games. There's going to be a State of Play here pretty soon, Grubb said, so there's going to be even more games announced. Microsoft held their Xbox and Bethesda Developer Direct in late January, and Nintendo dropped a game-packed direct earlier this week. As such, PlayStation owners are likely eager to see what Sony has in the pipeline for the PS5. A new State of Play is exciting, but Grubb notes that it might be best to temper expectations. Don't get your hopes up too high, says Grubb. Apparently, it's going to be pretty lackluster, pretty low-key State of Play. That's not to say Sony doesn't have anything in store for its PlayStation platforms in 2023 and beyond. Instead, it's likely that the company wants to save any heavy-hitting announcements for a full PlayStation showcase in the summer, and that's understandable. I get it. All the heavy hitters need to show up on the showcase, and they must show up, no excuses. In recent years, Sony has released its own major presentation online close to the company's former slot at the once mighty E3 gaming conference in June. And as you all know, just a side note, none of the big hitters such as Nintendo, Xbox, and PlayStation are attending E3 this year. So they're going to probably have their own E3 panel, and it's going to be their own thing, but they're not going to be a part of E3. As for when the imminent State of Play will take place, Grubb isn't sure precisely. He claims that it's likely to be in a month or so, maybe a little sooner. So again, it could probably be by the end of this month. that would place the show in the early March window, or perhaps even late February. While major game announcements may have to wait, there are several previously revealed PlayStation titles out there to keep fans busy. The most obvious contender is Marvel Spider-Man 2, which has yet to have its precise 2023 release date confirmed, and again, that game's coming out in the fall, so definitely we need a date to be confirmed really soon. Like I said before, Jeff Grubb is a reliable source. Obviously take everything I just read with a huge grain of salt. I'm not claiming any of this to be true, but I do believe, and it all makes sense in my opinion. Don't go blaming me. Remember, I'm just passing the message around. After reading Jeff Grubb's speculations about a state of play and a showcase, I got to say it does make sense, but he also makes it perfectly clear to temper your expectations, because you've probably figured state of plays never show the heavy hitters like Spider-Man. If you really think about it, PlayStation's actual last showcase was back in September of 2021. I had to double check and make sure, and it's true. There were rumors circulating about a showcase in 2022, but it was delayed because Sony believed the showcase they had prepared wasn't going to live up to people's expectations, and I can respect that honestly. I'm sure ever since that year has passed, Sony has only added more to that showcase, and I think it's really going to be a beefy one. Pause. Anyways, you let me know your thoughts. Do you think we'll see a state of play by the end of February or even early March, and a showcase in June? Comment down below. I like to read your comments and thoughts about it. As always, thank you all so much for checking out this video. Like, comment, and subscribe for more videos like this, and I'll see you all in the next comic panel.
Will one of you finally give me what I desire?
PlayStation